Just trying to make sure we are up. Okay. Good evening. Good evening. Today is no October the 11th, 2021. Welcome to KK&S Design's first discussion series, Fall Talks for Creatives. We are excited to present this mini series that started from October 4th through November 22nd from 8 p.m. to 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Streaming will be live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, which is something new for us. We're going to take a deep dive tonight into throwing in the towel with Michelle Ferner. So let me give you a little bit of information about us. My name is Tracy Folks. I am the owner and the creative director of KK&S Designs. We are a creative design studio specializing in laser cut design products for events and business branding. So tonight we are talking to Michelle Ferner. She's a small business owner who specializes in creating and selling crafts. Michelle, thank you for coming on with me tonight. I am so excited to have you here. But let me give a backstory real quick about Michelle. I don't know. I guess it was it had to be before 2004, maybe around 2016. I had gotten a silhouette machine, which is an electronic cutting machine for my sister had given it to me. And as I was trying to learn this tool, I hopped on YouTube University to try to get some information. And Michelle was one of the first people that I started to follow who offered help and tutorials on using the silhouette machine. Maybe like a year later, I joined a Facebook group and which Michelle was a part of. And I did not know that there was a correlation between the YouTube Michelle and this Michelle in the group. So since then, we've become pretty good friends. Where I can go to her and get information, and she can come to me and ask me for information. And we both are in the same field. We do some of the same things, but she does things differently. She has a niche in her area, and I have a niche in mine, but we're still able to collaborate. And I wanted to have Michelle on the show to one, show that collaboration is possible, and we don't have to steal each other's information or ideas. And although we are our goal is to always make money, but I am not in competition with Michelle, and she's not in competition with me because we serve two different audiences and we offer two different types of products. So, Michelle, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Ooh, girl. I've been, my name is Michelle Fenner. I am 50, well, I'll be 58 next month on the 20th.
Yay.
And I have two daughters, grown. One is 36 and the other one is 34. I have two grandkids and I've been married for 26 years today.
Oh. Happy anniversary, and you spending your time with us.
Yeah, I know. I keep that
so great.
But far as crafting, I've been doing it since I want to say, my kids was little, because I used to go to the thrift store and I would go get some furniture and redo it, or I'll go get a dress and I will change it into make it look like something else. So I've been doing far as doing creative things for a long, long time. When I got into actually crafting like the candy wrappers and stuff like that is when I worked at the hospital. I was a housekeeper at the hospital, and I uh, worked with this girl named Brandy. May she rest in peace. She passed away a few years ago. We had hooked up at the hospital as she was actually already an event planner. She already was doing decorations and stuff, and she brought me in, asked me did I want to learn balloons. So I started, teaching myself how to do balloons.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved that. I brought all the equipment and everything, and she'll call me like, can you do a setup, balloon setup, and I'll go do that. And then I got tired of doing that because I'm so creative. You get tired fast when when you do stuff, you just get
Mm-hmm.
tired. So after that, then she introduced me to Party Mavens.
Okay.
And well, no, let me go back. Then I started going on YouTube, and I followed this lady named what's it, Criflix. She had the silhouette, and I had the Cricut first. And back then, Cricut wasn't no print and cut. It was just you buy the cartridge and you just cut it out. And after that, I met the Cricut lady, the Crickflix lady. Then I started with the silhouette, and I got really good at it. Then Brandy introduced me to Party Mavens, and that's when I started meeting other people. Actually, I met Tracy in Party Mavens, and I didn't know that she was watching my YouTube videos, because I started my YouTube videos after I learned more about silhouette, and I started doing the cutouts and stuff like that. And then I saw that people was doing like events, and I said, and I did my kids events, like they birthday parties and stuff like that, but it never was to the design that I've seen in Party Mavens. It's just awesome. So I said, let me start doing some of that. And I started buying my inventory and stuff like that, and buying it up. And I bought like maybe a little over $5,000 worth of inventory.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And the sad thing about it, I didn't know what I was doing. So I really got upset with myself. I was angry with myself because I didn't know where to start. And, people always say that, I want to start a business. And because the word business seems so professional, you don't know the other words that are attached to it. So you just rushed into it without doing your research, without talking to a lawyer, without building your credit. All that comes first before you even label it as a business. And that's where I failed. So I sold all my inventory.
Let me ask this: when was the time? So when you started off as a hobby, when did it turn to an actual business?
It never did.
Okay.
Once I sold all my stuff, it never did. And I actually, that night after the last thing in my inventory went out, I cried. I cried because I know that this is what I want to do. I always want to just do baby showers. But I couldn't anymore. My dream was just gone because I got rid of everything. And I was sad for a long time. I went into depression and everything like that. And it hurted so bad. So I started watching YouTube again, and I started learning how to do other stuff. And then I started doing chip bags when I joined the Pink Sugar Shop. And because I was intimidated with Photoshop. I was so intimidated. But when I learned the chip bag, and I'm a quick learner, so I was able to do stuff. I was able to come back. I got out of that depression that, okay, everything I ever wanted to do just failed. So I started something else. I started with the chip bags, and it was going good, but it's going good. But back in my head, I still wanted to do events. I still wanted to do events. And
so let me ask you this. Okay, so now what niche are you in the wedding and event industry?
My niche I'm in is actually
or what do you, if it's easier, what do you make or what do you sell? What do you create?
I create table letters for event planners. I create centerpieces for event planners. I create
yard
whatever
signs.
they call and ask me for, I try to do for event planners.
Yard signs.
That's
Yard signs.
Yard sign. I do yard sign. I got, if you can see back here. I got this yard sign here that I created with the clip art. Everybody go to Etsy and buy clip art, but I created this yard sign here. So I have a lot of things that's going on, but it's to a point where it have to be one niche.
Okay. And what do you think what do you want to do? Let me go back. Let me try to stick to this script. All right, hold on. Okay. Okay, so you told us how you got into the event industry. Then you talked about how your dream is to really do baby showers.
Right.
And so now that you've changed, do you still want to go back to do baby showers?
Yes, that's still my number one.
So what's stopping you?
you know how sometimes people say fear, they fear that they're gonna fail.
Yes.
My fear is I will be overwhelmed. I'm not scared of fear because fear will teach you things that you never thought you can handle.
Mm-hmm.
But being overwhelmed where I get to the point where it's gonna just blow up, and then I'm like, oh my god, I that's my fear.
Well, then you bring on a team. You
I
bring in other
know.
people that can help you. So then why not start bits and pieces or do certain things at events or certain baby showers, or only take on only take on a number of events that you can handle, but at the same time start building a team where you have people that can come and help.
Yeah, that's true. And I've thought about that too. And it's when you try to sabotage your own self,
Mm-hmm.
is not good. So you always gonna find something wrong with something.
It's always gonna be something wrong. Now, some
You
things
know.
are never gonna go right. It's gonna go.
Mhm.
It's gonna mess up. You can have a big order and then your stove goes out. You can have,
Oh yeah.
I was at a big event one time, and it was a sketchy area. It was sus, as my kids say, and my car would not start, and so how was I gonna get home?
Right.
So you have to push yourself, and each and everything that we do. And I think a lot of people we skip it. We look on Pinterest and we see these beautiful events, and we look on,
Yeah.
all these different groups and we see these beautiful events, but we don't see the back end. And like yesterday, someone contacted me and asked me about doing a baby shower. And I said, well, this is what my starting price. I told her it was going to start at $2,500 and up. She was like, wow. And the reason was, and I explained to her, there's a back end to it. There's a lot that goes behind the scenes that people don't see. And yeah, so therefore I'm going to start at that price. And then the price is going to go up based on what you want. And I don't sometimes want to do events. I want to do what I want to do and stick to what I'm doing now. But I done lost my train of thought.
Right.
What was I talking about?
We talk about fear.
Fear. Yes. So fear can cripple you, and it can cause you to not do things. I am afraid of water. Like I did not want to go over a bridge. I would panic. I am afraid to go on a cruise. But I walk towards fear. Even though I don't want to do it, I know that in order for me to get over it, I have to do it. There's fear. It was fear when I started using the laser, because this big machine that could catch on fire.
Oh, I'm jealous with you. I'm jealous.
Everybody, these power tools, thinking I'm gonna cut my arm off. It's fear. But then once you go to it, you realize that something
you cutting off.
Yeah, hold on. Well, either way, I'm still gonna keep going. If it comes back on,
I hear you.
I think it went back. It came back. But fear comes. Fear is sometimes it can be used to help you, or it can be used to set you back.
Now I have down at the bottom. I have private chat.
Okay.
So is that locked? Do that means that nobody's coming in, or?
I don't know what that means. Oh, it says you could talk to other people. I see 2 eyes, so I don't know. It doesn't. This is the first time I'm ever using this. It says you can talk to other people. I see 2 eyes, so I don't know.
So do people know when to come in?
They should be able to just hop on, I believe. I don't know. Let's see.
Someone asked me. I was like, I don't know.
Well, they should just be able to get on they should either get on YouTube, or they can get on Instagram and they could just see it because it's live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so people are hopping on. Like on Instagram, I see, but it doesn't show me on here how many people are coming on.
Okay.
But they're watching. But hop on, I believe. Okay, how do you handle? All right, so based on what you're doing now, let's talk about what you're doing now, and then we'll go on to the future. What you're doing now, how many events, or how do people reach out to you?
Word of mouth. Most
Okay.
people, word of mouth, my Facebook page. But like I say, mostly word of mouth.
How busy
Um,
are you? How much work can you accept at a time?
because I do so many things, I try not to get too many customers or clients, because I get overwhelmed really fast and I get anxiety. So I try to limit to maybe 3 a week,
Okay. All
but
right.
no more than that. No more
Okay.
than that.
So at what point, okay, tell me about the best memory in regards to your business.
The best memory is when I get a phone call or I get an email and someone says that they really, really um, appreciate the things that I've done and I made their day. Or one time I did something at work because I had to do an event at work, and they gave me a check, and I ain't. Hey, I wasn't expecting it, but hey, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
But those are the moments that I know that this is what I want to do. When I make somebody else happy, when I make someone else's day, because that's what only people have, is they memories of the things that people done for them or made them
Mm-hmm.
smile or made them happy. Especially at the times like this, people need that the most,
Mm-hmm.
if nothing else. So
Um, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. You can go ahead. You get ready to ask me a question.
You were saying something?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So that hmm? No, me? All right. So trying to read right here. Okay, so let's talk about so right now you are doing you are making the crafts or the props
Right.
for
Right.
this. All right. So the conversation that we're supposed to be talking about tonight is throwing in the towel. What does that mean to you?
When I get fed up, when I don't enjoy what I'm doing anymore. Sometimes I just want to quit, because I know it's not really what I want to do, and I just want to just stop. Because the things that I'm doing now, even though I enjoy doing it, is not what I want to be doing. If
Okay,
you
so
can
how can we
understand
get
that.
you? Yes. So I don't want to do events. I think they're beautiful. I like them. I love them. And I started doing that. But now I have transitioned into doing the lasering. So if I
So do
get,
you like that better?
I like it better. I don't, I like it better because I get to be more creative to a certain extent. I get to work individually. I do like that. I don't have to be at an event at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I don't have to do that. So time
Right.
wise, just ability wise, it is more organized. And well, it's not in if you saw my area, but it's more organized in my mind where I only have to focus on this menu order instead of focusing on the whole event alone. So
Right.
I have, I started to feel angry because I bought all of this stuff. I mean, I invested money. I went to classes and I did draping classes and I did all these things. And then I'm like, well, I would prefer to do this. And so, you know what I did? I sold it, most of it. But
Yeah, I remember.
if I have to jump in and do any events, I still have some stuff, or I can rent the stuff, I still have that in my mind. But I would prefer to do lasering and then build upon that because that's what I prefer to do. That's what I like to do, and I could do it from home. I don't necessarily. I mean, I go out, but I don't have to. So for you, if you don't want to do that, you do it till you make, I guess, maybe whatever funds you need in order to do the events that you want to do.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I said I'm going to start doing, but I have to stick to it. Sometimes, if something comes up where um I get discouraged or something like that, I'll just stop and I'll just like, you know what, I'll just keep doing this until I just can't do it anymore. And I do the flip flop. And then I think sometimes that's with not everyone, because some people is lucky enough to have something where they can help them out and you can get your business started. But I think majority of the people, when you first starting out, you do feel that way. You do feel like, you know what, am I doing this, the is this going to be worth pushing through? Is
Right.
this going to be worth me staying up late at night? Is this going to be worth taking all the money that I earn and put it back into, what is going to do for me?
And what does it do for you? What have you found? Do you feel like it's worth it?
Yes, I do. I do feel like it.
Well, then that's your why.
I do feel like it, but it's just sometimes like, it's like, it seems like it's taking too long, and I can't blame nobody but myself. That wouldn't be fair to blame anybody, but sometimes you just don't know how to start over. Because like I said, I've sold over almost $5,000 worth of inventory. So how do I start over?
So this is what I would say. I've had to start over many a times. I mean, I have a degree in this, and I wanted to be a social worker. Then I wanted to be a teacher. When I was younger, I wanted to be a store lady. I just wanted to work at a cash register.
Yeah.
I got a cash register now.
Yeah, I wanted to be in advertising, actually.
So, it's just, you have to be able to learn how to pivot. And I have this mindset, whereas things are going to fail. Things are going to fall. But there's one thing that's consistent, and that's me. And that is my attitude towards achieving anything. So if I set out to say, hey, I'm going to make a car, I may not know on Monday how to make that car. And maybe 10 Mondays from now, I eventually figure out how to make that car.
And that's what I like about you.
Thank you. I've always done that. If I want something, I'm going to get it. And it doesn't happen right away. I didn't know what I was doing right away. And there's still things that I do not know what I'm doing. I've got 7 children, and I do it all by myself. Never really had any help. No help at all. When I started this whole laser thing, I had to do events in order to get the money to be able to buy wood, to be able to buy acrylic. And I continue to push myself. I am my biggest cheerleader. There was nobody. They were telling me, go get a job, leave this alone, don't waste your time. Other people are doing. In my mind, I knew that there was a space for me. And Michelle, there's a space for you. A space where you can do whatever you want to do if you set your mind to it. There's always going to be fear. People impose fears upon other people. When someone says, Tracy, you can't do that, I can do whatever I want. Now, my parents will tell you I'm rebellious. I'm going to do whatever Tracy decides. And if I fail, then I fail. I have failed. Been married twice. Those did not work. Hey, that doesn't mean I don't want to get married again. Eventually, the right person.
But I'm not scared of failing, more so than starting.
Start. You have to but you haven't stopped. Even though you're not decorating the entire baby shower, you still are doing something. But then get back into what you want to do. Yeah. Because I never want to be on my. So when I had gotten sick and I was in the hospital, I had to lay there, could not move, and I'm used to being up. And I said to myself, if I am going to do something, I'm going to put forth every effort to do what it is I want to do. A laser machine, the cheapest one that I want is $10,000. I have never threw up $10,000 for one item ever. I mean, a car I had to pay on it, but to take $10,000 and pay for something, if this is something that I want, then that is what I'm going to do. I don't care about starting over. I have moved from place to place and I'm going to get what I want. So who are you? You have to start from somewhere and you just move on. And at the end of it, when it's time for me to go, I have to have a conversation with myself. Have I done all that I wanted to do? Am I happy about the things? And God gives people talents, and you have a talent. Use that talent that God gave you, or he can just give it to somebody else.
Oh, no. I told him, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
So you take it and you use it. And even if you have to start off small and then keep going. I mean, don't let anything stop you. Nothing, no fear, nothing. You need a cheerleader. I got this quote in my office. and I don't curse, but it says I'm a dope ass chick, created dope ass shit. Daddy, don't listen to that. And that's what I say. So my daughters come down there and be like, oh, you were cussing. But I want them to see, and everything that I've always done, I want my kids will never say that my mom never did anything. She never tried to do anything. You know, she always set out to accomplish a goal. How many other women, with 7 kids that went for a PhD? I don't know anybody. I don't even know anybody with it. Well, I do know some people.
Because you awesome, girl.
Right. So, but it wasn't just because I needed a PhD, because I don't, at this moment in time, I don't do anything with it. But I said I was going to set out to do it, and I did it. And I don't want to let myself down. And so that's what you need. You don't want to let yourself down. Your kids are looking at you, and you have such a big fan base that you are going to do awesome. You have excellent ideas, you're extremely creative. But if it gets overwhelming, bring in help. Hire people.
Hire people. To hire you. Well, I have a friend here.
You can hire me. I can hop on a plane. My kids are getting older.
Yeah, I have a friend here. She probably on here. I think you know her, Cheryl Hardy.
Sure. Yes. Okay.
H&H Creations. Yeah. So me and her is like we get together and we collaborate together and do stuff. So she keep me grounded though. She will tell me some stuff.
Well, then you have to listen. I mean, you haven't thrown in the towel yet because you're still here. You're still here. It might not be where you want to be, but you're still active in it, and you haven't given up. And so now, since you know what you want to do and where you're going to go, you move towards that.
Right. Because I have all the resources and I have all the tools that when I do shift over, that I'm ready. But I want to make sure before I take that shift that I did the research for the business to be legit, far as the paperwork and the IRS and all that stuff.
Chamber of Commerce. Go to the Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
Go to, what state do you live in?
Illinois.
Go to the Illinois Small Business Center. Mm-hmm. Minority Business Center. Every state, every county has something, and see what they have to offer. My sister lives in North Carolina, and she just told me the other day that, and she does stationery, and she told me that they have some type of program for small businesses, especially minorities. They want to give them money, giving them grants. They have a lawyer to help you. They're helping you start your business because businesses, as they know, small businesses are the ones that's keeping this country afloat. So they're offering help. I joined some groups, some programs in Baltimore, because I'm in Maryland, and through Baltimore, and they gave me I had kind of like a coach and some things to help jumpstart your business to get you. And it was somewhat helpful, not where I need it, but it was helpful for me to be able to get the information. But the information is there. You just have to search for it. Yeah. But don't let that deter you from starting. So if I call you tomorrow for a baby shower, what's your answer going to be?
I'm not ready.
You are ready. No. You can do it.
But you know what? I don't turn stuff down unless I know that I can't do it. But otherwise, I'll send somebody else to do it for me.
Okay.
Because I don't mind doing that either, networking, because sometimes you can't do it all by yourself. So I'd rather get a group of honest business women that's in the same field, that we network, and when one person can't do it, another one, instead of us trying to backstab each other. And that's another thing that I hate about the Black women in the community, that we, not all, I'm not going to say all, we don't support each other like we should. We don't. And I know maybe some people may get upset about it, but I'm not saying all women.
It's true.
It's like you can say all men don't cheat. I'm not saying all women is backstabbers.
Right.
But one I've been around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, most of them do, not all of them. But this is true. This is an issue. And so, like I said, I did everything by myself. Didn't have any help, and nobody understands me. Even now, none of my friends know what I do. They don't understand me. And so therefore I'm alone. I'm like on a little island all by myself. Nobody really understands. Nobody does. But I have realized that I have to do what I have to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Either you're gonna be with me or you just gonna see me past you. But I'm going to keep on moving.
Right.
There are some that help and there are some that don't. But I don't look to them that help. That like I know like I can count on you. I can call you and say, hey, like I did with that first house setup, which was the best one that I did. And I'm
Yes,
like,
I love
what?
that, girl.
And I haven't done anything as great as that one. And you gave me the not even with that one. That you gave me with that one, but for the bridal shower, because that's how I met the lady to do the house setup. I asked you, what can I do to turn this out? And you gave me something, and it was a small thing, maybe to you, but it was huge for me because I was like, yes, I could do this and then I could do that. And that's how I was able to get business. I was able to secure business from somewhere else because you helped me.
Yeah.
And so you may only have one or two people in your corner. And that's honestly sometimes more than what I've ever had.
Well, that's fine with me. That's fine with me to have one or two people in my corner, because you don't want to have too many people in your corner, because you don't want. I mean, right. Everybody behind you, you don't know what that last one doing. You don't trust that last.
And I hate to have that mindset, and it is there sometimes, but I do kind of keep to myself. I'm definitely selective about who I talk to, but I do know that there are some great people in what we do, and there are some not so great people, not so kind, some dishonest people, but life still goes on. I've wanted to throw in the towel because I quit every other week, especially when I get a rush order at the last minute. And then when the person gets the order, something happens or some issues. I'm like, I quit. I'm going to go teach it. Look, I don't need this. I'm like Rochelle off of Everybody Hates Chris. My husband got 3 jobs.
But you know what really got me, like, I would say fear when I joined the Party Mavens, and then I saw all the ones that was doing the events, and they was showing pictures and this, and I'm like, oh, it's nice. Then all of a sudden it was like, yeah, they was all at each other. I was like, oh, they kind of cutthroat in this industry for the event planning business. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this.
Yeah, you can, and you listen, and the other thing is I'm a fighter. So I'm going to fight. Like, I'm going to fight whoever. I'm ready to fight. You know what? And the thing is, I don't really ever see any of that. And if I do, I kind of don't pay attention to it. Mm-hmm. I don't have time. And I don't like a lot of bickering and all that other stuff. I'm like a boy. You know what I'm saying? When I was younger, I'm not going to just talk it out. We can just fight,
Right.
And now with my mindset with women sometimes is I'm not about to argue with you, talk behind your back. I don't really feel like dealing with that. So if I see a lot of that stuff, except with that issue with that one girl that I had who did that logo for me, and that was the biggest issue that I had to post. Other than that, I don't get involved in that stuff because it ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't care. You don't want to fight, go ahead, and it's going to happen.
I don't get in arguments with people like that. It's just a waste of my time and energy, and I just don't. And I know I'm the type of person. People see me as, they look at me and think I'm timid. I'm not. Yeah. So don't try me. I'm, don't try me. But I mean,
so let me ask you this. So even though you've gone and you shifted, how were you able to keep your mind afloat during that transition? Even though you want to do baby showers, but you're not doing them right now, how do you keep your mind active and to still producing the quality of work that you do?
You?
How so?
You? I be seeing some of your stuff, but you know what really, really made me do it? When you did the real estate one with the balloons and stuff. You remember you just talking about?
I don't know how to do balloons.
I know. I was like, I was like, what, the crowd, right?
Oh.
And I was like, she is awesome. She's gonna do it. She don't know how to do it. She's gonna learn how to do it, and she's gonna keep on doing it until she get it right. Well,
that makes my heart happy. I mean, I do it because I don't, like, you took the time to help me, to show me what to do, and I'm like, okay, let me get it right. I have to get it right. I have to do this right, and that is
because I was gonna get on you.
Yes, and I was like, I did the things I did one time. I was like, I know she's gonna tell me I didn't do blah blah blah, but sometimes you need that, and I don't need. I have you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that I can come you, and I can ask you, what do you think about this? Or it's doing it again. But and I'm okay with that, because if I can't take, like the Bible says, if you can't take correction, then you really, who are you? What can you do? So I definitely am. I feel honored that. But what else keeps you to produce? Because see, the stuff I don't want to do. I don't want to do all that graphic stuff. I don't. It's too much for me.
I think peace. It gives me peace. It actually gives me peace. I enjoy doing it, and the designing part on the computer, I love doing it, and I love a challenge. I love when somebody may text me and say, or message me and say, can you make this? Send me a picture and say, can you make this? And I know doggone well I can't make it, never made it, but I'm not going to say no.
Right.
I'm not going to say no. I'm going to do my research. I'm going to do Google, YouTube, Pinterest, whatever place I can see something come close to it, just to give me some idea of how it works, and I'll just do it. And it comes out really nice. You know, I don't say no to everything.
That I didn't like. I've never seen anything that you've done and I thought this doesn't look good, or I mean, because I think a lot of stuff doesn't look good for some people. But you know, even myself, I've seen stuff and I'm like, that was horrible. Like I looked at some cake pops that I did several years ago, and they were the worst.
No, I tried cake pops a long time ago, maybe about 7 years ago. You froze up. Several years ago, and they were the worst.
Hold up.
No, I tried cake pops a long time ago, maybe about 7 years ago. Okay. All right. You back on?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you was talking about cake pops.
About how it can you hear me?
It was terrible.
It was terrible. I don't know why I don't see you move it. But yes, they was terrible, you know, and I can look back at some of the stuff that I did before, and then I can say, okay, well, you know what, I've seen my growth. I've never delete any of those pictures off of anything. I've even been told, hey, you need to take some of these old pictures down, and I'm not going to do it. Because that's where I started, and now you can see my progression. So let me ask you this. So as if you had to give some advice to someone getting into this business, what advice would you give to them?
Be honest with yourself.
Okay.
Be honest with yourself, because sometimes people, especially when Facebook could make you think you're going to become a billionaire.
This is true.
And you can go on there and say, oh, I can do that. Be honest with yourself. And say if it's really that you want to put your money into something that you may not even like doing. I'm not saying don't do it, but step back and do your research and make sure you know what all go into starting a business, event planning business, because it's a lot. Now, I worked with Mira, and I helped her. She used to call me sometimes, and I help her with some of the events. It's a lot of work. I never knew it was that much work. Now she's grand. I'm nothing like her. She's grand. I mean, this woman, she is just fabulous. And when I went to go help her several events, I'm like, oh my goodness, all this, because when you see it, you're like, oh, you know, they put a few plates on the table, tablecloth and all that stuff. Oh my goodness, no. I was crawling on the floor when I got home that night. I had to take an Epsom salt bath.
It is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and I don't understand why people feel that when you walk in that room in your event, some people's like don't want to pay the work. That it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand. So make sure before you invest all your money and all your time, I would suggest that you piggyback on, I guess you would say piggyback, or ask someone, can they, you help them with the event so you can see what behind the scene, because you may get it and say, I really don't like this. Now I bought all this stuff.
Yes.
And now I have to sell it because I don't want to do the work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's not just throwing tablecloths and even, girl, the doggone chair covers was getting me tired.
Oh
I was
yeah,
like,
those they need to be like burned. They need to go. And I have some that I need to get rid of, but they are a headache to deal with. To put them on, I mean,
it
that's a job.
is.
Yes, it
And
most definitely.
I was like tired, and she, and she was like, one time, not too long, she was like, "Can you come here?" But I was like, "No."
Well, then, if okay, so
Wait
let's
a minute.
go back. Let me circle back. So, if that is a lot of work, how do you think? How will you going back into just working on baby showers? What would be the
But
difference?
see, no, see, baby showers is a little different. I think if you creative enough, you can. If you creative enough, you can bring it down a notch.
Okay,
I'm telling you, when I say her stuff is grand, it
I've
is
seen it.
grand.
Yeah,
My
I've
stuff
seen
ain't
it.
gonna be grand. They might
But
get some Dollar Tree stuff. No, I'm just saying.
no, no.
I know you hate Dollar Tree
Listen,
stuff.
I will go
Me
to
and
the
you was
doctor. Listen,
laughing
let
at
me tell
that.
you something. My father was having a banquet, and my stepmother had mentioned, "Oh, we'll just give people gifts from the dollar store."
No,
I was like, "No, you're
no.
not. I'm not gonna be a part of it. Please don't ask me. I won't do it. Not because it's the mentality. Like I'm gonna go to the dollar store and give somebody who paid $100 ticket to come to an event. I'm gonna give you something from the dollar store. I don't think so. That's not gonna
Right,
happen. Now I might have gotten certain pieces from the dollar store to be able to create something fabulous for you, but I'm not gonna just say." All you're good for is the dollar store. No, we're gonna take it.
right,
We're gonna make it look like it did not come from the dollar store. That's what I had. But I
right,
understand. So
right.
then with you and knowing you having the baby showers and you want to do baby showers, then maybe your clientele isn't the people that's paying, 5, 10, twenty
No,
thousand
it's
dollars for
not.
a baby shower.
No, I don't mind the 5,000. I don't mind the 2,000 because if you creative enough, you can still
It makes it
make
work.
some money
Yes.
with 2,000. I know a lot of people like I ain't doing 2,000. Now, I will tell you this, far as cake and all that food stuff, that's separate. I have nothing to do with that. I am the designer of your event
Mm-hmm.
to make it look grand. Well, not grand like that, but it's gonna be nice. But you have to do the food and the cake and all that stuff yourself. I'm not doing that. I'm
Okay.
not a planner.
Right.
I'm a event stylist.
Okay. So when are you going to get into working on the baby showers?
I'm actually, to tell you the truth, I'm slowly doing little stuff.
Okay.
Um, far as paperwork,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't went to uh any place where I can get a business loan or anything like that. I haven't did that yet, but I'm writing down my plan
Okay.
because you need a plan. You don't want to
Yes.
go in there blinded and you like, oh, I forgot to have this paper. Oh, I forgot to have that. Why I didn't look for that? I
Well,
don't
that's
want IRS to sue me.
yes. Well, I jump. I have a problem of just jumping in the water and then I'll learn how to swim. And that is not always a good thing. And my sister's always like, research, research, research. And I'm like, shut up. I'm going to do what I want to do. And then I have to back paddle. So I would say, yes, do your research, know your plan. And I didn't want to do a business plan. Heck, I'm sure I got a degree in business somewhere down the line, but I still didn't go that route. I jumped in, but it was good in a way just for me because I got to see what I liked and what I didn't like,
Right.
what I want to do and what I don't want to do.
Right.
You know,
And that's with me.
all the numbers and things. That's not my game. Like I need to care, but I don't. If this costs $10,000, I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna get the $10,000, and I'll figure out the rest later. So that's not a great way to go, but that's how it is in my brain. But taking the steps and the time to kind of figure out what you want, yes, I would suggest also to do like a run, work with somebody to see
Yes.
how
Yeah.
you can, kind of figure these things out. You know, I worked at Home Depot for a little bit because I wanted to get into the wood situation. I wanted to do the lasering and I wanted to know different types of wood. And I was making props and I wanted to know what nails and what tools. And although I didn't really like working there too much, the people were nice. The coworkers I didn't really like too much, but I got to know what tools were best for me to use, what type of wood was best, which was the cheaper wood to get. Well, I got to learn those small details. So if I wanted to be a baker, then I would go work at a bakery. If I want to be an event planner, well, then let me go work somewhere or ask somebody, can I work with them in order to be
Mm-hmm.
able to gain these skills? And you get to see. I know I worked with a few people on style shoots. And I mean, they were all freaking day. Like, I'm like, I don't want to do this. I mean, I'll send my stuff in, but I don't want to sit in no style shoot all day long. But then the pictures are beautiful, but I never seen all of the work up front before you see the actual beautiful pictures.
Right.
So
Okay.
I would say, definitely give it a try and see how that goes. All right. So as a woman, because you said you started all of this and you had
Well,
kids.
I got one other tip that I think people should, event planners,
Uh-huh.
especially event planners. Even if you're starting from the beginning, I think everybody should learn how to do everything, even if you don't do it.
Like bake a
Because
cake if I'm not a baker.
well, not
You
to that
matter.
extent, not to that. I'm talking about far as like, okay, for instance, I have a client that she be wanting chip bags, she be wanting candy bar wrappers, she be
Mm-hmm.
wanting to have balloons and different stuff
Mm-hmm.
that is easy to learn. Not baking, because that's just a whole
Right. I'm
nother,
just joking.
that's another show. Because girl, please, they don't want me to bake.
You
uh,
want them, you want them. I hate chip bags. When I try
right,
to
but
make
see,
that,
but
look,
it's okay. But you need, just say that you had an event and you hired somebody to do chip bags for you. You don't know how to do it, but if you knew how to do it, you could teach somebody else, your daughter or a friend or somebody, to do it for you, because
mm-hmm.
you want to please your customer. You
Right.
have to learn these extra things, even if you don't want to do it.
Well, I would say yes, but let me tell you about the big client. The big, so I work with a variety of.
I ain't talking about the $10,000 client.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, we need even the lower people. Well, then yes, they should learn how to do it, and it needs to look nice. I know that was not. Michelle Tammy said, "You talking about her?"
No, I'm not
um,
talking about you. I'm not talking about you, Tammy. Okay,
um,
but
you
since
have
you
to.
on here now,
You have to. I mean, that just might not be somebody's area. Like, I hated it. It didn't look nice when I did it. Was wasting all my ink. It hurt my hands. I hated it. Like, I've never like.
because you never took the time, or you just didn't want to. You
I don't
didn't
like.
want to. No, you didn't want to so bad that
I talk myself
you
out of
just
it
didn't
like
want to do
balloon.
it. You were like, so
I
you
do.
gave yourself an excuse.
Yeah. So I know how to do it. I'll send you elsewhere. Don't ask me to do it. But you also. But another thing is you have to know what you like. And I know, like, I don't want. A lot of people ask me to do invitations. I don't want to do invitations. I don't know why. I just don't want to do them. It's just I don't want to. I don't like doing them, and so I
Yeah,
don't
I
want
hear
to.
you.
I don't want to do
Yeah,
them. I don't. I'll do
I
almost everything else, but I don't want to do them. I don't even want to do like the props. Like I did the Flintstones. It was cute. I don't want to do that ever again. I don't want to do Blues Clues. Somebody asked me about that. I don't want to do that type of stuff anymore because it's too tedious and it's too much work, and you don't want to pay for it. So I don't want to do it. So I am at the point now where certain things that I know that I like and I can do and I can always grow. Certain things I'm just going to say no. I do it, and I
Yeah,
don't want to do
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I've done that. Certain things I say, I don't want to do it, so I'm not going to do it, because once you start doing it, then
Yes,
you feel like you're going to be stuck doing it all the time.
right, and
And
I don't want to do it. Mm-mm.
I'm sorry, I just don't want to.
Right. So as a woman, because you are an entrepreneur, whether you decided that, hey, I'm a legal business or not, you are an entrepreneur because you are earning some type of money for the business that you have. How I mean, we talked about how you stayed into it and how you continue to go and what motivates you. um has there been difficulty because you're married and you have kids and you started when you had young kids and you have grandkids and you do a lot? How do you balance it all?
Um, I During the day, sometimes I make sure that it's my family. And most of the time, if I have to work on anything, it really starts around about 8 o'clock until maybe 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
So the daytime is with my family, and then my work time is at night when it's quiet and I can get some work done.
Well, I am the total opposite. I get more work done in the morning time. Like I get up between 4, 5, sometimes 3, and I'll come and I'll get to work. And then I stop, get my kids ready for school, come back home and work again. And then my day sometimes can shut down after 12 because I got sick. My body is like, oh, it's time for you to lay down. I can lay down for a little bit. I might get back to work or I might just not. But I am more powerful early in the morning than I am later on in the day.
Okay.
That's when I've tried to schedule things around that time. So if I have to take my kids to the dentist or what have you, I try to do it later in the day instead of in the morning where I'm most productive.
Right. Well, the reason why I can't do it during the day, because my kids are grown. They grown and moved out. So it's just me and my husband here. But I notice sometimes when I try to work during the day, he'll come in and say, it's a movie on. And I was like, okay, that's a sign that he wants me to come out there and watch
You better
a
send your
movie.
husband, girl. I mean, and I started making time. Now, before I would work, like I would work all day and not do anything. I pay anybody any attention. I just had to work. I mean, what I look like right now is not how I look like on a regular basis. I'm looking like I just crawled out the sewer somewhere because my focus is work, 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 work. I've tried to scale it back and be like, okay, I'm going to dedicate this time to this time, and I'm just going to focus. And that was a challenge for me, but I needed it because I started to resent it. I started to say, you know what, I'm tired of doing this. I want to do something else. I want to go teach. I always wanted to work at a HBCU, but I know that this is what I like. I enjoy doing it. And if I don't step away from it sometimes and create.
But you're great at it though.
I mean, I love it, but I don't like
great at it.
Well, thank you. I'm not great. I could do better. And I want to do better.
Girl, you came a long way and you know it.
I have.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes. And I know I could do more, but when you get to the point where you got people getting on your nerves, your kids getting on your nerves, you got all this stuff, and it's like I'm stuck. And then I'll point out, like, I don't socialize with a lot of people because I'm always in the house and I'm so used to it. Whereas though when I worked outside of the house, I get to talk to people. I get to dress up. So I'm not walking around looking like I got out the sewer because I know I got to go to work. I got to, look good when I go. And now that I'm home all the time, it's just become like, who is this homeless person coming in here today at UPS? But I needed to step away. So I was able to, I went to Philly a couple of times. I went to Florida, which I've not done and been on any vacation since my daughter is like 10, maybe 11, 12 years ago. I didn't go anywhere. I wouldn't do anything because I felt like I had to work. And now it's like when I was able to go to Florida, I was able to look at some things and be like, wow, I can implement this. Like, look at this. So I've been able to try to create a balance. And I decided that if I get to the point where I want to throw in the towel, I will step back, take a day off, and go to Hobby Lobby and go through the Christmas section because that's the best place. I just go to the store sometimes just to kind of clear my head. But yeah, the other part of throwing in the towel is dealing with difficult people, which I think we'll discuss that next week. Next week we'll have somebody come on and we'll talk about difficult clients, but that can be a reason for dealing. I mean, I done got chewed out. I done got people who are taking their money back, and I got into it with somebody on a group like 2 weeks ago, but I will still stand my ground because like I told you, I am fight, not flight. I will be all in it. But
I think frustrating. One person, I only had about a couple of people that might have got an attitude with me, but I shut that down real quick because for me, and that's another thing. And when you was talking about far as the business and being professional, I will hang up
on somebody.
Yes.
Oh wow.
And I will hang up, and I have, because I'm grown. And I don't see myself, and this is what I keep saying, I need to stop saying it. I don't see myself becoming a billionaire or you making me a billionaire. So I can hang up on it.
I've spoken this into existence. I'm going to be a millionaire. Matter of fact, I'm going to be a billionaire. That's what I'm going to be.
At that time when I hung up on that person, I wasn't going to be a billionaire.
You are. They just won't go. They won't go help you reach those millions or billions. But you
Right.
know,
So I didn't need to hear all that.
right. Oh, I
I didn't
will
need to hear all
dismiss
that.
you.
But I'm better now. I'm better now. I wouldn't do that again. But I probably was in a bad mood at that time anyway
It
when
can
she did
happen.
that.
And that can happen. But sometimes you know, just dealing with the client, sometimes they can make you want to throw in the towel. They can push your buttons. But you know what I say? When that starts to happen, I just know it's the work of the enemy. And I don't know if some people believe in God, believe in whatever you want. But I know that when things start to happen and your life starts to move towards something or something is about to happen, the enemy comes and bring distractions. It might be a customer,
Girl,
it might be a
with you. Say it
situation.
again.
It'll come and it'll try to distract you from the move from whatever you have coming up. See, he can see what's going on to your future, even though you
Yes.
can't see it. He can see it, and he's going to try to stop and prevent you by any means necessary. And it happens from it could be getting sick, it could be this, it could be that. But once you realize that, hey, you know what? Wait a second, this came from out of nowhere. So there's something up the road, must be something for
Right.
me. So you know what? Let me deal with this accordingly. I am sorry that you are not happy with your services. Um, you have a wonderful day. You know, I haven't cussed anybody out, and I won't. But I will just be like, look, you know, this is the situation where I deal with the situation the most as professional way as I can and then move on. Because it was happening like 1 week, I had so many things with clients going on. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? But then I had to stop and I'm like, God, what is going on? And he said to me, things are about to shift, things are about to start moving. And if you stay the course and don't just quit, stay the course, I got you on the other side.
And he do all the time, every time I feel that, because one time I think something happened and I just started crying, and I was like, why is this keep happening? Why? And then like maybe a week later or something really, I mean, it was mind-blowing happened to me that was great. I was like, okay, you were just preparing me for what was
Right.
good. You
And
know, I
sometimes,
just had to stay
yep,
in my place.
he
That's
uses
all.
people. And sometimes situations come to test you. If you can't deal with this client and she paying you $15 and you getting bent out of shape because they're not happy, what happens when somebody's paying you $15,000? So if I
Right.
can't work with X, then I'm not going to be able to work with Y. And because I want to work with Y, let me deal with this situation. Let me learn how to deal with this difficult customer. Because I dealt with, in the human service field, we had difficult people all the time. And people just want to be heard, you know? They
Mm-hmm.
want to be heard. Now, sometimes they can get out of line and then you have to check them, you know, you check them. But then you just get back and get back in motion and realize it's just the work of the enemy. When stuff starts to come and it makes no sense, that's all that it is.
Right.
And he puts fear in your heart, fear to say, you know, you can't do this. You're not good enough. I have no background in any of this stuff. I have no background in lasering. I have no background in design. I cannot go on Adobe Illustrator and design anything. I don't know how to do that. Some stuff that people ask me to do, I cannot do. I don't know how to do. Some people will bring me stuff from other designers and be like, I want this. You know what I'll say? Then you need to go to them because that's not something that I do. And it's not that I can't do it. I'm not going to do it at this time. I don't have the materials. I don't have the tools, but I don't have that background.
Right.
And so
Right.
some things are still lesson and learning to me, but I know that I can do some things and I know that I can do better at other things. And I just hold on to that. I don't
Right.
let fear stop me. I never have. And I just never will. And if I could take all of this non-fearful, it's not a word, but I just made it up. If I can take all of that and pass it on, then I will. You know, again, seven
Hey, I'll
kids,
take it.
7 kids. I put myself through school, no help. I mean, I had my mom and father help sometimes, but they didn't live with me. No help. I have all people. I did everything for my PhD except the dissertation. So technically, I'm a doctor, not the PhD, but I did everything by myself, no help. So if I can do that, then anybody can do absolutely anything, and you
Yeah,
can
that
do anything.
yeah. And I,
So
I know another thing that I feel that entrepreneurs, event planners, or starting your business, you need to put money away. Even though you feel that you
pay
need
yourself,
to
right?
buy inventory, whenever you do an event, put $100 each away and pretend like you don't even have that money.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reason why I said that, because it's in the beginning I kept spending every little penny that I've earned, and actually not even earned, because you got to spend money to make money. So you don't really earn anything until you've been in the business for at least about good 5 or 6 years. That's what I was told. But hey. So I decided to, every time I make money, I invest, and then I put some away at the same time. So I split it. I don't just put all of it. I split it, because for some reason in my head, and I heard a voice talking about, put $100 away. And if you put that $100 away, I will max that when time is due.
Well,
so
that sounds like it was done.
I don't know when time is due, but I want to make sure when it's due, I have enough in there for when it maxed, it be big.
Well, that's a good thing. So what do you have coming up next?
Next I'm doing as far as an event, or I have to do my son-in-law's yard sign. He'll be 36.
Okay.
So I'll be doing that, and I'm doing table letters, and my birthday coming up, so I'm going to do something for myself here at the house. So I'm going to decorate my living room as though it was a vineyard.
Okay. Okay, well, that'll be exciting.
Yeah, so I was wondering, did anybody have any questions?
Oh, yeah. Does anybody have any questions? I'm sorry. Let me see if I can try to see anything.
I know, Tammy, I wasn't talking about you. If you still on here, I wasn't talking about you, sweetie. I was not.
I don't know if it'll allow me to.
You're not the only one. I'm just letting you know that you could be so awesome if you learn to do other things too. And another thing that you should do it, because like for people who have a 9-to-5 job still, just having a second income coming in, if you're doing chip bags, or learn how to do it. If you can't do it, then learn something else. If you can't catch on, learn something else. That way you have that second income. 9-to-5 is good. But you see what the pandemic did to everybody. A lot of people lost their jobs and stuff, or got, you lost hours. So learn something else. That way you could still, pay a light bill, or buy some food or something like that. It's always, I try to learn something different every month.
That's a good. That's really good. I am taking a broom class, how to make a broom. I'm taking a class on how to make a table, how to. I love, and I want to take like an art class. I want to take a class how to sew. My mom could sew, but I don't know how to sew. So first of all, and I love to learn. I love. Yes, Tammy, I know. I'm trying to do this Lux Bar class. It has been frustrating, but I'm working. To figure out when, but people have asked for, and the Lux Bar class that people have asked for. So I am trying to get that done. I had to get this part done first, but I definitely am. But I would say learn a skill, even if you don't use it. I want to learn. I want to learn all types of things, because you never know when you need it. So
you never know. You never know.
Okay, Dominique. Yes.
You never
all right,
know.
so I'm gonna have a class. I'm gonna probably work on a class in like, what's this week? In a few weeks, maybe like, what's today? Maybe like in 3 weeks. Give me 3 weeks, like in the middle of November, early November. I will do a class, and I will post that, because I know that it's been a big request, and I've been busy, and I've been making excuses too. So.
Cheryl
Anybody
gonna talk about not balloons. Michelle H&H Creation 12 said not balloons. Michelle, I used to do balloons. I like balloons, but it's just not on the top of my list of doing balloons. I used to do a class with balloons, but
she taught me. I still don't do them right, but she did. She taught me.
But you did that organic one at that house really well.
I don't know how I did it, girl. I don't know what I did. Like I don't know,
but
I wish I could do it again. I don't even want to do it again. But it was good, and I did, and because I took a class earlier. I was going to take, and that's another thing. I have the habit of taking stuff. Like I said, I like to learn. And so there's somebody was teaching a balloon class, and I'm like, I should take this class. I'm going to take this class. This, whatever the price is, like $600. I'm going to take this class. And my boyfriend was like, do you need the class?
Right.
Talk to your friend. He was talking about you. Talk to your friend. She can show you, pay her. I was like, Do you need the class? Do you want to do balloons? I'm like, no, I don't. I have no desire to really do them. I do them because I have to.
But you know what though? I think even though you don't like doing it, I think if you take the class, you'll be good at it.
But I don't want, that's the thing. Like, I don't have time to do it. You know, like it is stressful. It's tiring. It's hot. My car, there's so many obstacles. I could rather take that $600 and go buy me some sheets of acrylic, you know, and do it that way. Yes. So yeah. I just decided that I don't need it. And so I have listen, I can be anywhere and everywhere trying to do something. And I just sometimes need to scale it down. Right. But all right, we're going to wrap this up. Does anybody have any questions?
Tammy says she going to learn chip bag. Tammy, you can learn the chip bags with me anytime. You know, I have my YouTube channel. I'm getting ready to do a chip bag tutorial on YouTube, so you'll be able to watch that. I don't charge for that stuff. Well,
Michelle, what is tell everybody, or put it in the comments section if you can. Give us your YouTube channel, your Instagram, your Facebook. If you have a website, put all of those in the chat, and that way, if people come on, they can see it, and it'll be there, and we will this will, you know, keep running, and it'll be on YouTube, so you can probably link it. I don't know how to do all of that. We'll figure that part out, but put it in the notes.
I'm trying to get off of this thing so it won't clear out. What is that?
Well, I have no clue. Or afterwards, you can hop on and do it or something. We'll figure that part out. I don't know that part.
Okay.
Let's see. So I want to thank you. We're going to wrap up because it's 9:00, but I want to thank you, Michelle, for coming on and talking about, I guess, the journey of a creative in your world and how you are going to start working on baby showers. And we know that now that she has a YouTube channel, so you guys can check that out.
Yes, my YouTube channel is Miss Creative 47.
Miss Creative.
You can check that out. I teach silhouette. If you have a silhouette machine for cutting vinyl or for doing centerpieces, or now I'm going to be doing chip bag tutorial and candy bar wrapper tutorial with my silhouette. So you can go on there and subscribe to that. Please do tell your friends who has a silhouette to join my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Tracy, so much.
My pleasure.
Where is
Thank
this
you
thing
so much
in the
for
way?
being here.
And Tammy, I'm going to message you in a little bit.
All right. Okay. Well, we don't have any other questions. I want to thank everybody for joining. Catch us till next Monday at 8 p.m. Central. We will have Raven Duvall on, and we will discuss dealing with difficult clients and managing a business and being a mother. So that's definitely something most of us can relate to. And I will see you guys later. Don't forget to follow me at KK&S Design. KKS Designs _ on Instagram and on Facebook. Just follow me at Tracy Folks. And if you have any questions about your stationery needs for events or business branding, the holidays are coming up, so make sure you watch us. And we also have something going on for breast cancer awareness. We have plaques, we have cupcake toppers, and Lux bars. So if you know anyone that is currently suffering or dealing with breast cancer, or that is a survivor, you can always buy an item, and the monies is being donated to American Breast Cancer Research or American it's something I have listed somewhere. I'm sorry, but yes, that is a big thing for me. I have lots of family members that have had breast cancer, and if I can help in any way, that is something that I would like to do. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to contact us. If you need Michelle, she'll put her contact information in the notes somewhere. If we'll figure that out. And if Michelle, you can get to me, and then I'll pass on her information. But we'll try to add it in the chat.
Right. Somewhere. And you can follow me on Instagram at Miss Creative 47 at Miss Creative 47. You can catch me on there, or like I said, I have a YouTube channel, Miss Creative 47 on the YouTube channel. And yeah, I enjoyed this. Thank you, Tracy. If anybody have any questions for me, you know how to message. I'll put all my information down in the message.
Okay.
Thingy.
All
But
right.
until
Well,
then,
thank
y'all
you
have a
so
great
much.
night.
All right, Michelle, you stay on. I'm going to end the stream. All
All
right.
right.
Thank you, guys. All right. Let's see. Hold up. Stop broadcast. Finish.